My special guest this morning for Happy Hour, the one and only Keith Scott. Maybe the name's not familiar, but the voices certainly will be, particularly if you're a fan of Australia's longest-running political satire, How Green Was My Cactus. Now, you did
Yes.
all of the male voices in Cactus.
I did, yeah. It was... we started off in the first year because the writer Doug Edwards had used Kev Goldsby and Ross Higgins
Yes.
on the Samuel Pepys show. But as the show expanded and all of that, and they got busy with other projects and things, I ended up doing all the voices for the last 30 years, male ones, and Robin Moore did all the female
Robin
voices.
Moore, she's brilliant.
Yeah,
too.
and
she did a really good Julia Gillard for me once.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, she was wonderful, Robin.
That was her period of prominence on Cactus, because there's no way I could do a female Prime Minister's voice.
No,
not with my baritone.
All right, well,
But you know, when we started, we had the greatest character of all was Bob Hawke, because he was such a distinctive character to start with, and also such a man of the people that it didn't matter which side, left, right, or centre. You know, everyone liked Bob as a guy. You know, and you know, there has. Let me make this quite plain to you, Marcus. There's never been a character like me in terms of charisma. So, I mean, he was a gift. He was a gift to people like me, you know. And of course, in those days, when we started, I don't know whether it's the internet or whether the new education system makes everyone a bit more homogenised, but the voices are not as interesting as those days. Because Hawke, number one, then up in Queensland, you know, you are from there, and there, come on, there was never a character like, well, who am I again? Oh yes, Sir Joe. There we go, and along with that. Keating was the treasurer.
Oh, scumbag!
No, let me just say, the Labor Party has always had its heart in the right place. Sometimes it hasn't had its head in the right place.
And
you're a bit nasty though, Paul. What was your catch cry for people you weren't?
You scumbags! What?
I remember in real life where he actually said. When John Hewson was the opposition leader, and he almost had that election won. Yeah. And Keating in Parliament said,
"I'll do you slowly."
No, not that one. He said, Mr. Speaker, let me just say, the opposition leader, Dr. John, is nothing but a piece of limp lettuce.
I mean, how is that the ultimate insult?
Well, there's that one, and what about the iceberg one? Remember that?
Oh yes, Peter Costello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look.
All
tip.
Yeah,
No, we'll have to look that one. I know, we know the one.
No, he's all tip and no eyes.
That's it. Goal. Very, very good. All right, who was your favourite?
I'd say either Hawke, because he was so distinctive and funny, or after a long time, the longest running one was John Howard, because he started off, and we called him Little Johnny because of his height. He wasn't actually, in real life, he wasn't that short, but he just came across on TV as like that, you know.
Really nice bloke.
Yeah, very nice man.
Have you ever come across, before I get you to do a little bit more of Johnny, have you ever come across any of these politicians in real life?
It's often
what
at
do they say?
corporate functions.
Right.
Bob Hawke was a little... It was weird doing him at the new Parliament House, because he was obviously right up in the front row, and I'm doing him, and he's got this fascinated look on his face, as if, you know, I don't know whether he was thinking, do I really sound like that? but and John Howard, strangely enough, the Liberals, who you'd think would be more conservative and dull, were the best audience.
Really?
Andrew Peacock and John Howard. I thought it was very, very amusing. They still don't sound funny, but that was his reaction.
Wow.
I don't think Keating liked it.
Really?
And I never... Well, there's a little satire I did of Rudd, which you'll play later, but I don't think he'd like it, because I think he likes to be in control.
Well, true. Story on Keating. I rented out his old place at Queanbeyan when I was living and working in Canberra recently. Beautiful place out there at Queanbeyan. It's on the register, and it's part of heritage listing and all the rest of it. I didn't know Kate Shelton, who's a friend of mine in Queanbeyan, her and her husband are part of the arts community there, and I rented out a room in this place, and I didn't know that it was actually the former residence of the Prime Minister at the time that you were doing all of these voices and stuff. And then one day she happened to tell me, and I thought, all right, which room were they? She said all of them. She said they had champagne parties in the spa room, and apparently he was a real party animal.
Yeah.
Was Paul.
Oh, yeah.
Paul and Nita
Well,
and
we
everybody.
probably would have noticed the Second Empire French clocks in there.
Well, I think but there was it was a beautiful place. I'll look it up during the break and I'll remind, and I know Kate listens to the program, but they've recently sold it, but it was amazing. I didn't know at the time.
Yeah.
I just thought, this is nice, and it suits me, and the gardens are gorgeous, and the room's cheap.
Yeah.
I'll grab it. And it wasn't until I'd been there for a week or so that Kate said, by the way, this used to be owned by Paul Keating, Paul and Anita, and when he was PM, he'd spend time here in the lodge, and that was apparently the party house.
Ah, right.